Okay, everybody. Hello, hello. And we're a little bit after midnight now. It's 12:43 where I'm at. So, hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and moving towards the new year. We're almost there to New Year's already. So, I thought it'd be a good time to start some new messages and see what's coming through for all of us and see where the energy's at right now for the collective and find a way to bring some of these messages that I have been receiving for myself and hopefully maybe be able to get some of them out there to share with others. And if you can get any encouragement from it, even if it's just to lift your spirits or get some synchronicities in there or something, you know how it goes. Sometimes I'll be, we can be talking about the same thing that someone else is talking for, and just that alone can give you some encouragement to what you're going through, because it seems like for many of us, quite a few of us, it feels like there's this time of isolation, this time of being alone, and you know, all the way back from the pandemic, it seems like a lot of people have been suffering with this idea of, they're, they're going through these trials and stuff alone. But we all know all too well that we're not alone. And so one way, even if you don't have ways to get out and be around the people, and like I find myself in circumstances now because I am far from family and stuff, so I'm not able to see them as much as I want. So whatever your circumstance is, if it's keeping you isolated, just know that you're certainly not alone, and there is a huge group of us out there that are, going through this this stuff with you. A lot of people label it spiritual warfare. That's a good term, and I use that term often. But it's just, in reality, for me, more than anything, it's just life. It's just different ways of looking at life and dealing with spirit and the physical together. So hopefully with some of these messages from spirit that you'll be able to get a little bit of encouragement. So we're asking spirit to guide our message today and just keep it an encouraging energy and see what comes through. All right. So I'm going to pull a few cards here and see what kind of message you want to spirit would like to get us started with today. Earlier this week I had decided I'm a Christian, so I was spending some time thinking about, like, the meaning of Christmas, like we do sometimes. We get all the gifts and stuff at work. We were doing exchanging gifts and stuff, so it got me wondering what was like for me personally. Because I have friends and stuff that think of it more of like solstice and that sort of thing. And so, what does this holiday actually mean for me? So, if you actually think about it, as if an individual thinks about Christmas as it's to celebrate the birth of Jesus, how do we celebrate birthdays? And usually we'll give a gift or something. And it was something I was thinking about to myself, that if I really want to tell myself that I'm celebrating the birth of Jesus, then why don't we treat it like a birthday? And what kind of gift could you give to Jesus? Something like that. So for me, I have been getting this pull from spirit for months now to start getting these messages out. And we talk back and forth to each other all the time, just him and I. And it's been like, hey, why don't you share these with somebody? So that's going to be my gift, is getting this started and quit dragging my feet like I like to do sometimes. But it can be a little bit, oh, I don't know what the word is. It's difficult sometimes to know when the right time is to put some of these messages out. So I was trying to really focus on it and make sure I knew what I wanted to talk about and which energy I wanted to come from and which direction. So I think it's time now. This will be a good year, a good place to, with the new year coming on. It's a good place to start. So let's see what we got here. So the first card I got was Eight of Coins, and trying to see where it give us something else to see what they want to talk about. What it's looking like to me, though, is it's this idea that I was getting some stuff last night for too. I was getting the same exact thing last night. Is this diverse group of people, and talking about, I guess, in short, just talking about humanity in general, just all different sorts of people. Like I see, she's got this bandana thing on her head, and it's looking like, something from Jamaica or somewhere, one of the countries in Africa. Then it's got she's pulling these stars from all these different colors on their rainbow, and she's got these flowers and everything, and the different coins. And what it's showing through is just this diverse group of people, very diverse, everyone from all their different opinions. And as she's pulling it out, you can see this here, as she's pulling it out from the coin in her hand, it's turning into this beautiful rainbow, this beautiful a piece of art, like a kid painting a picture or something like that. And it's turning into this Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords is basically taking this individual here and being able to do that. And what I'm saying is it's bring the people together. And when you bring the people together, it's putting you in this queen energy. All these things that whatever have been on your mind, it's going to be different for each of us, but whatever is going to bring in your mind, it's going to make you the Queen of Swords, which for me always represents, sometimes it, depending on the circumstance, it could be someone with a sharp tongue, because of a sword obviously, but more appropriately for this message, what I'm seeing is it's just saying you're going to be able to, whatever you've been trying to get across to your group of people, whatever you've been trying to talk to with your group of people, it's going to make you the queen of that circumstance. So you're going to be on your throne. So if you can find a way to bring all these people together, whoever it could be, your family, if your family is suffering with a certain circumstance where you guys are disagreeing. It could be a workplace. It could be, it could be anything. But you have a diverse group of individuals, and what you're wanting to do is get a message through of some sort. And like I said, it could just literally be bringing the family all together and getting the family all together, or getting a group of colleagues together and making it so you're all on the same page. And what it's going to lead to is, once you do that, when you can find a way to bring them back together, it's going to lead to your justice, and you get the justice card. So, and it's showing, and I see you on this justice card here, and I see, let's see if you can see it here. His throne, when he's sitting on justice here, it's tattered. The throne that he's on, like he's got a good message, and what he's trying to say is important as he's on the throne and he's sure of himself. But the throne itself has, it's like people have thrown swords at it, have thrown rocks at it, and like just been tattering at it and tattering at it. So, it's showing that what you're missing here is finding a way to bring people together. So I'm not sure what that is for you. I got my own, and it is absolutely a circumstance like that where you got so many people that you love and care for, and so many people that you respect, but you got such different opinions and different things going on that, you know, it's it's made you feel like, yeah, you might be on a throne, you might be standing from the right point of view, but you just feel like you've been through it, right? You've been through the war. And it's showing here, like, I get the Four of Coins, but in this one, it's showing one thing that you might be struggling with is your communication with people. You might be having a problem. It looks like someone holding two phones in their hands, and in the middle, you're just getting these little, it's just one little coin that got dropped. And like, so you're talking to people, you're talking to the people around you, but you're not really getting much through, and it's not feeling like there's much substance there. So, and on the face of the individual here, it's showing he's discouraged. He looks discouraged. And this little guy here, I don't know if that might mean something. It looks, the little man. So he doesn't. It looks like a taser. Like the guy's a taser. I'm not sure what that means, but that could mean something for you. But after that, we get the death card. And what the death card is showing to me in this message is that it's coming through like a soldier, and I've been getting that a lot too lately. It's a strong warrior, and basically, not death as in you're dead, not like that. It's coming through as, look, enough's enough with whatever you guys have been debating. Like, someone is coming through on your side, trying to help you, to say, like, look, we can all fight, and we can all discuss whatever we want to discuss, but there's, we're to the point now where we need to get to this. We need to bring everyone together, because nothing is getting done like this. We have to bring everyone together, and there's not going to be, and you don't want to say it the wrong way, because I don't want you to feel in any way that whatever you're discussing means like your point's not important or theirs not important. But ultimately, like when when two kids are fighting with mom and dad, finally dad walks in and says, look, I don't care what the problem is, you say you're sorry, you say you're sorry, and get back to it. And that's what death is representing in this card right now. And what I'm seeing here is right below death in this card, you can see the little Hierophant guy. He's sitting there, and Hierophant represents like tradition and traditional things and different things. So maybe it could be the one way, if you're talking about a workplace scenario, it could be that this is how we've always done it at work. This is how we've always done it, right? Talking about tradition. And then, but time is showing that, look, there's other ways. We can try new people, we can try new things. And it's coming through saying, look, this is what it is. We got, because while we're sitting here trying to be traditional, these people down here, that's where the real death is coming in. Now, this could be the death of a business. This could be the family. If we're talking about family, like, yeah, you guys are arguing, having your difference, and yes, this is the way we've always done it, and so and so. But if we're never talking to each other, if we're never around each other, all this tradition, it's turning into little skeletons. Like, I don't know if you can see it there. They're turning into little skeletons, and it won't matter what the traditions are or not because you're all dead, right? And and you could be talking about that. In family scenarios, we do have this. If you sit around arguing with family members, eventually we all know that our life on this planet is limited. So we're going to start to pass away. So you could go that far as in literally start to die, or in any scenario, whatever your scenario is, if it's work or if it's romance or whatever it is, it'll start to die to where it won't matter. And so you can, whoever, we talk about standing on our soapboxes and stuff, but at some point, I think everyone is aware that it doesn't matter at some point, because if you can't come to some kind of conclusion, the whole scenario is just going to die. And that's where the death card is coming in this card here. So this seems like a very familiar scenario that probably a message like this could be read 1,000 different times in 1,000 different ways. So I think it's a perfect message for what I was saying, a story of, if you know about Christianity, you know about Jesus and his message of helping one another and loving one another and all that sort of thing. So it's just it absolutely is confirmation that this is a good message to come through for a gift from Jesus, because that's absolutely his message is, just find a way for everyone to come together and love one another. You all got a million different opinions in a million different ways, and then as the generations go on, they have a million more different opinions in a million other different ways. But if you just find a way to come together, then that's when you're going to get this beautiful, beautiful image of, it's not, yeah, and you see all those coins there. So, and that's another message that I've been getting coming through too is, you know, when we're when we're told to just be nice to each other and do things to work together, work with your friends and work with your colleagues and do things the right way and stop all the fighting, it's not just a coming from a moral stance of, it's not just being because that's what you're supposed to do, basically. It's not, it can come from a very tangible way of helping you. If you can find a way to work with your colleagues, let's stick with the coworkers thing. If you can find a way to run a business and you guys can all work together, you guys are going to make some coin, some real coin. Now you can take that same scenario and put it to your family. If you guys come together, there's always times when you need family. So it's not just that, this is what you're supposed to do and this is what God wants us to do. Now that should obviously be the main reason, right? We all know that should be the reason, be nice to each other because you're supposed to be nice to each other. But if that's not enough for you, which it seems to be in this world, it's just not always enough. We have this phrase, love's not always enough. You need something more. Realize that when you do this, yes, you'll have the love and it'll be all those beautiful emotions and feelings and connections and everything, but also it's going to make your foundation better. So if you're talking about work, you guys are going to make more money at work. If you're talking about family, it's going to make a family more stable so you can feel safe and protected. Anything like that, it's always good. So, and then after the death card, we get the Seven of Wands here. And the Seven of Wands is showing through that someone, maybe, a lot of times in these scenarios, it's somebody that's unexpected. Maybe a child, it could be like this is, I'm thinking of in a family scenario. Maybe it's a kid that stands up in the family at Thanksgiving as everyone's fighting and be like, listen, love each other. We're supposed to love each other, and it's always something silly like that. Like it looks and see this little bunny kid and he's got all this fighting going around him, and a little kid stands up and says it. But or at work, it could be someone that's really quiet all the time at work, and then finally they just snap and say, "Hey, enough is enough." And what you're doing is you're bringing all these. See, they got all their little wands up in the air where they're trying to fight, but it starts off in that image, and that's how cards come through for me. I'll get many different messages at one time, so I try to explain it so you can understand what I'm seeing. It starts off with they got their wands up in the air and they're all trying to fight, but it turns into flutes. So I'm seeing now once you're working them together, it's like the orchestra is coming together. So So you can, it's kind of hard to explain what I'm trying to, what I see, because it goes really fast in my mind. But it's it's basically just saying that when you all come together and you stop the fighting, it's going to turn into this beautiful resounding music. So let's see what comes next here. It's all pretty clear, so I'm not sure if we're going to have to keep on asking for. Right now, it's pretty straightforward what we're talking about here. This is just a message of encouragement. You know, normally I would just go on and on with the, asking for clarification on things, but this seems like it's going to wrap itself up pretty straightforward. So we'll see where it goes here. Yeah, looks like that's probably where we're going to end it right there. Ace of Coins is the final card that I get here. Ace of Coins, and it's showing, ironically, right, from what I was saying, and that stuck out. So I don't know if, and I keep on using the two scenarios. So I'm sure you can put this in a million different aspects. Could be, it could be romance too, but the two scenarios of family and workplace environment are really sticking out. But you could apply this to many, many different areas. So, but like I was saying earlier, how the coins was sticking out. It's how we're wrapping it. It's the final card that came out too. So if there's a financial struggles going on, which hey, we just went through the holidays, so we know that a lot of people have spent more money than they should spend, and excuse me, and in workplace, there's all money is always we don't go to work just for fun, we go to make money and stuff. So it's wrapping up with the Ace of Coins. So Ace of Coins for me is coming through as money. I don't whatever it could, and then we say money, but it could be just prosperity, in being successful at whatever it is that you're wanting to be successful for. So, if we are talking about a family, and we all have these scenarios in our family where there never seems to be enough to go around to make sure everyone's okay. And as when you go through pandemic times, you got financial bills, you got houses that are being sold, and people are dying, and now money, money, money just seems to be all the problem. At the end here, we're getting Ace of Coins, and maybe someone did pass away in someone's story, at least for one. It looks like, because this guy with Ace of Coins he's kind of up in the clouds, kind of how you would. I don't want to say he's a ghost. He's not a ghost, but it's coming through like that. Here, I'll get it closer so you can see. But see how there's a cloud behind him, and his little tail's going down there from Earth up into the clouds, and he's got this little coin in his hand that he's leaving behind. So it kind of looks like maybe an inheritance, you could say something like that, or just whatever it is, an answer to whatever the problem could be. And on his little head, on this little dog's head, he's got a little unicorn horn coming through. So I don't. I personally, in my messages, because I see almost everything metaphorically, and I don't like to connect spirit with messages of, like winning the lottery. Basically, I don't like to make those two connections. So I prefer to stay on the area of just whatever is the prosperity. And if it's the family, just having the family together would be winning, right? You'd be whatever the coin is here, it's helping you win. And if it is from someone that's passed, or it doesn't have to be someone that has died recently. It could be something from somewhere of someone. Maybe your grandmother that hasn't been there for years and years and years. Maybe your grandfather that hasn't been there for years and years and years. And someone pulls out an old journal or something like that, and it's a message of encouragement for the whole family. But that's where I think we're gonna wrap it up here. It says, yeah, I just said that, and after that I get this. It's showing walking away. It's showing a guy here walking away from all these, and what I'm seeing them as, all the problems, all the things that you've been trying to build up, all the stuff that you're trying to build up. He's walking away into the distance, and after that we get this Empress card, and it's funny that it's this specific Empress card, because this one, to me, always looks like a little grandma, like a grandmother sitting there playing her banjo or something, doing something, and she's got that little ticker tape thing there. Maybe it's someone's grandma that invested something wisely, and she's sitting there from heaven, being like, "Oh, well, you guys quit your fussing and just love one another." So a lot of those messages coming through. So if whatever your circumstance is, hopefully that gives you some insight, and maybe there will be something in there that has just know, because at the end, in the beginning and the end, it just shows that it's going to work out, whatever it is. And there is this death card in there, but it's not coming through as in it's coming through to kill anyone. And that's not what's happening. It's just we get this death card right after. It's almost like you're trying to talk to somebody on the phone and you just can't have a conversation. So someone comes through and says, "Hey, enough's enough. Just love one another and work together, and everything's going to work out." So all right, so we're going to leave it there, and hopefully, there was something that came through that can help you with this one. But once again, Merry Christmas to all, no matter what, your faith is or your belief system. So I guess we'll say Happy Holidays too, because there's a whole bunch of different ones out there. So Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.